Hello students, welcome to Coding Treasures. Today we will be discussing about push operation and pop operation on stack. Let's discuss push operation first. So we have a stack here. How many elements are there in the stack? Currently we have only 4 elements in the stack, right? So what is the value of top now? The value of top is 3. What is the topmost element? The topmost element is 45. And now I want to add one more element into the stack. Where should I add one more element? The element should be always added at top. So before adding the element, what should I do? I should increment the top by 1. Now top is incremented by 1. Now top became 4. Now I can add one more element. Now I am adding 59 to the stack at 4th position because the value of top is 4. Then what is push operation? Push operation is the process of adding a new element at the topmost position of stack. It is an insertion operation because we are inserting a new element into the stack. How many elements we can add into the stack? So look at this example. Here n is equal to 5. What is n? N is the maximum number of elements that can be added onto the stack. In this example, there are already 4 elements in the stack. We can add one more element into the stack. So I am incrementing top and adding one more element. Now what is the value of top? Now top is equal to 4. What is the value of n? N is equal to 5. So what we understood from this, when top is equal to n minus 1, the stack is full. The top is 4, n minus 1 is also 4. So in this case, the stack is full. Okay, that stack is full now. What if you try to add one more element into the stack? Is that possible? No, it is not possible. If you try to add one more element into the stack, when the stack is full, it will give an exception called overflow. So when you are trying to add one more element into the stack which is full, the element will overflow the stack. So what is the condition? If the stack is full, we cannot add the element. Then what are the steps in push operation? First we have to check whether the stack is full. If stack is full, we cannot add one more element into the stack. If stack is not full, we have to increment the top first, then we can add the element into the stack. Next we can go to pop operation. How many elements are present in the stack? There are only 2 elements. The first element stands at 0th position. The second element stands at 1st position. So the value of top is 1. Which element is at topmost position? The element 24 is at topmost position. Now I am going to remove 24 from stack. So once if we remove the element from the stack, we will lose it, right? So what we will do? After removing the element, that element will be stored in a variable. So here we are using a variable called item. When we remove an element from the stack, that element will be stored in item. Now 24 will be removed from the stack and it will be stored in item. Okay, now there is only one element in the stack. So what will be the value of top? So top should be decremented. So now value of top is 0. Then what is pop operation? The pop operation is a process of removing an element from the stack. It is a delete operation. Why? Because it deletes an element from the stack. How many elements can we remove from the stack? We can remove the element from the top of the stack until the stack becomes empty. Look at the example. We have only one element in the stack. I am going to remove that element from the stack. What is that element? Element is 12. What is the value of top? Since there is only one element in the stack, the value of top is 0. Now I am removing 12 from the stack. So I have to store 12 in item. After removing the element, I have to decrement top by 1. So top was 0, and now top became minus 1. When the stack is empty, the top becomes minus 1. Now in the given stack, there are no elements. So what is the value of top? The value of top is minus 1. What happens when you try to remove an element from the stack? Now if you try to remove an element from the stack, it will show an exception. It is called as underflow. So what are the steps for pop operation? Before popping the element from the stack, we should check whether the stack is empty. If the stack is empty, we cannot remove an element from the stack. Otherwise, we have to store the element to be removed in a variable. Then we have to decrement the value of top by 1. Let us implement this concept using Python programming. I am taking the same example that is given in your syllabus. So I am taking a stack of glass. There is a stack of glass where new class can be kept inside another class. So it forms a stack of glass. In this example, there are 9 glasses. One is kept inside another. I will name this glass as glass stack because this is a stack of glasses. How do you create a stack using Python programming language? We know that stack is a sequence, right? We have multiple elements in a stack. So we have different sequences in Python, right? Or we have array, we have list, or we have tuple, we have set, etc. But the most convenient data type is list. So we are using list to create stack. So we can create an empty list. How to create an empty list? We can write glass stack is equal to list function, or we can write glass stack is equal to empty square brackets. Both these will create a list. So now let's see what are the functions you have to use to implement stack in Python. The first function is empty function. This function will check whether the stack is empty. So what are we passing into the function? We are passing glass stack. That is a stack, nothing but a list. So this function will return true or false. If the stack is empty, it will return true. Otherwise, it will return false. The second function is op push. So it represents operation push. This function will insert a new element into the stack. So it needs 2 parameters, the name of the stack and then the element to be pushed onto the stack. Next we have size function. Size function will return number of elements present in the stack. So it returns an integer value. If there are 2 elements in the stack, it will return 2. If there are 3 elements in the stack, it will return 3. So what is the use of top function? Top function will give you the topmost element of the stack. So how it is different from pop? The pop function will remove the topmost element from the stack. A top function will return the topmost element from the stack, but it won't remove the topmost element. What is op pop function? Nothing but operation pop. It will take a stack as an argument, then it will remove the topmost element from the stack and return the element. What is the use of display function? Display function will print all the elements of the stack one by one. Now let's see the practical solution of stack using Python. We will write all the functions one by one. First we have isEmpty function. We are passing glass stack into this function. It will find the length of the glass stack. If the length is equal to 0, it means that there is no element. So it will return true. If the length is greater than 0, it will return false. If the isEmpty function returns true, it means it has no element, the stack is empty. If the isEmpty function returns false, it means the stack has at least one element. The second function is op push. It means operation push. So we are pushing one element into the stack. Here we have 2 parameters. The first one is glass stack, the name of the stack. The second one is the element to be pushed onto the stack. We know that glass stack is a list, so we can use append function. Append function will append the element at the end of the list. If we have elements like this 12, 23, 34, first element is 12, that is at 0th position. Second element is 23, is at first position. Next element is 34, that is at second position. So append function will append next element at the end of the stack. In this example, 34 is at topmost position of the stack. Next we have size function. Size function will take glass stack as parameter. It will find the length of list named glass stack. So we are using len function to find the length of the glass stack, and it will return the length. Next we have top function. Okay, as we learned that top function will return the topmost element, but it will not remove the topmost element. So this function takes glass stack as parameter. Before returning the topmost element, we have to check whether the stack is empty. How to check it? We can call isEmpty function here. We already wrote the code for isEmpty. This function is called over here, and we are passing glass stack. If the glass stack is empty, it will return true. If the glass stack is not empty, it will return false. So if isEmpty function returns true, it will print stack is empty, and this top function will return none. Suppose if the stack is not empty, then isEmpty function will return false. It will go for else block. What we have inside else block? Here we are finding the length of a glass stack and storing it in variable x. Then we are finding the last element of list glass stack. For example, if you take glass stack is equal to 12, 23, 45, 56. What is the length of glass stack? Length of glass stack is 1, 2, 3, 4. So x is equal to 4. Okay. So what is element? Element is equal to a glass stack of x minus 1. Glass stack of 4 minus 1. X minus 1. That is nothing but 3. So what is glass stack of 3? So glass stack of 0 is 12. 1, 2, 3. Nothing but 56. So we got the topmost element of the stack. The topmost element is stored in element, so it returns element. Next we have pop function. I have named it as op pop. It means operation pop. It takes only one parameter, that is the stack. So before popping the element, we have to check whether the stack is empty. So we can use isEmpty function. If the glass stack is empty, it will print underflow. You cannot remove an element, so it returns none. Suppose if the stack is not empty, it will go for else block. It will return glass stack dot pop. We know that glass stack is a list. So look at this. If glass stack is equal to 12, 23, 34, 45, 56. What will be glass stack dot pop? So we learned the pop function in first year. The pop function will remove the last element of the list. So here it will remove 56. So it will remove the last element from the glass stack, and it will return that element. Next we have display function. It will display all the elements of the stack. Okay, this function will take glass stack as parameter. So what it does, it will find the length of the stack and it will be stored in x. We can take here the glass stack is equal to 12, 23, 34, 45, 56. Okay. So what is x? X is equal to the length of glass stack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 elements. So x is equal to 5. If x is equal to 0 means what? If x is equal to 0 means the stack is empty, no element. So it will print stack is empty. If x is greater than 0, then it will go for else part. What is inside else part? We have a loop. Okay. So loop is starting from x minus 1, goes back to minus 1, step is minus 1. So what is this? We have 4, I in range, what is x? 5. What is x minus 1? That is 5 minus 1, that is 4. 4 minus 1, the step is minus 1. In the first case, what is I? I is equal to 4. So it prints first the glass stack of 4. The for loop travels backward because it is moving from 4 to minus 1 and the step is minus 1. So the next I will be 3, next I will be 2 and so on. The last I will be glass stack of 0. So it prints all the elements from last to first, nothing but top to bottom. Now let's create an empty list. Now we have created a stack that is empty. Let's take an element. Element 1 is equal to 24. I want to add this element into the stack. Which function we can use? We can use op push, right? So I can write op push. I can pass glass stack, then the element to be pushed. I can write a print statement. Print element pushed is equal to element 1. Okay, I will push one more element into the stack. I can copy these 3 lines, copy, paste. I will change this to 35. Okay, and make it as element 2, pushing this element 2 and printing that element. Run the program. So we have pushed 2 elements. So it prints element pushed 24, element pushed 35. I am going to see the size of the stack. I can write print size of the stack is equal to, I'll call size function, size of takes glass stack. I'll run the program. Okay, so it gives size of the stack as 2 because we have pushed only 2 elements. Now I will pop one element from the stack. I can write item is equal to which function? Op pop function. I'm passing glass stack and I'm printing this element. Print element popped is equal to item. Run the program. See, I pushed 24, 35. The size of the stack is 2. Then I popped the last element, which I have pushed last, that can be popped first. That is the characteristic of stack, right? I will push one more element. I'll copy this, write 56, element 3 is equal to 56, pushing element 3. So the pushed element is element 3. Now I run the program. Look at this, element 56 is pushed. So I'll display the stack. I'll pass glass stack, run the program. Okay, it displays 2 elements 56 and 24. Which element is at the topmost position? 56 is at topmost position. And now we can use top function. I write print element at top is equal to top of glass stack. Run the program. Look at this, which element is at topmost position? 56. I can pop all the elements of a stack using a while loop. We have only 2 elements, we can pop it. Let's see what is the code. I am using while true. If the condition is true, it will enter the while loop. What we have done? We have popped the element using pop function and storing the element in item. If the item is none, it means there is no element in the stack. So it prints stack is empty and break the while loop. Otherwise, if the item is not none, then it prints the item. Again, while loop will be repeated. It pops the next element from the stack and checks whether the stack is empty. If it is empty, it will break the loop. Otherwise, it prints the item. It keeps printing the items one by one. When the stack is empty, the while loop will stop executing. So let me run the program. So look at this. We have to see from here. The popped element is 56. Popped element is 24. Then We are trying to pop one more element, but there are only two elements, both are popped. So it shows underflow. Then it prints a message stack is empty now. In the next class, we will be discussing about different types of expressions, infix to postfix conversion, and postfix evaluation. If the video is helpful, kindly like the video, share the video, and subscribe my channel. Thank you.